It's like these type of dudes, they completely neglect their subconscious. They don't work out, they don't read books, but they expect you to also suffer to make them comfortable. That's just like the phrase, misery loves company. They see what they lack. That's the reason why they don't like when people do better than them. The envy consumes them. They have not done any shadow work, so that shadow consumes them.
Now, after all signs were pointing to the fact that Drake was going to be taking a break from rap, as he announced that his next album is going to be a collab project with R&B singer Party Next Door. This apparently has not stopped Drake from taking another lyrical swing on the microphone and from trying to create another moment that will start to bring him some positive attention after the Kendrick Lamar beef and with his most recent move. He has opened up this cryptic website called 100 Gigs for Your Head Top. And with this, Drake has finally done the first thing in months that is not making him look like the biggest joke in music, because what he did with this is give people a pretty interesting look into his vault, which features studio sessions, performances, lost album covers that are a lot better than some of the ones we actually got, and a lot of...
I ain't gonna lie to you. It was one Certified Lover Boy cover art. That shit looked weird as hell. It looked weird as hell. It looked like he was a peeping Tom looking at a bunch of nude women. And it's like he's so out of touch with reality, he doesn't see that he's literally proving everything Kendrick is saying. And if you truly understand the mind of, they don't care. They only want the narcissistic supply. They just want the stimulation in general. Because of his trauma, he truly believes that this is what love is supposed to be. That's his love language. He's willing to do anything for your love and attention, especially from other grown men. He didn't have a father figure. This caliber of men is the reason why there are so many young black children that join gangs. They don't have fathers, so they need some type of mentorship, some type of masculinity. And men like Jay Prince, the Lil Waynes, like the industry, they love this caliber of man.
Behind the scenes content, but most importantly, and what everyone is going to be talking about from the latest move from Drake, are the 3 new tracks he has released on this website. And now, while one of these songs called Blue, Red, and Green is another cut from Drake that is in line with the Honestly Nevermind sound that he seems obsessed in bringing back, despite nobody gripping onto it whatsoever. And the other track, Housekeeping Knows, while featuring a rapper in Lotto, feels like another hip-hop dance crossover that is trying to do something like he did on For All the Dogs' track Rich Baby Daddy, but just a little lame. Aside from these, Drake also gave us his first real rapping performance since his beef with Kendrick Lamar that is not him going over the BBL Drizzy beat with his new track It's Up. And with this cut, as this is the first time Drake is giving us solo music since The Hard Part 6, and we are not hearing him with the whiny melodic singing, and we actually get to hear him rapping. This is obviously a very important moment, and now with the stakes this high, for a few hours, this track actually did something good for Drake, as it showed off a verse.
And he ran right back to Atlanta, man. Like I said, doing everything Kendrick said. Only thing Kendrick really did was just unhypnotized the entire culture. He didn't really even beat Drake up. He really just took off the mask. In one of my earlier videos, I said it was like the Lizzie McGuire moment when they cut off the auto-tune and you can actually hear his voice and you realize he's been faking this entire time. Like Drake's fans, they remind me of R. Kelly so much. R. Kelly's fans, y'all remember that Boondocks episode? They keep thinking I'm speaking on Drake's music without understanding that there's a literal video of him grooming a 17-year-old girl on stage. They keep forgetting that. The exact same way R. Kelly's fans kept forgetting that there was a video of him peeing on a little girl. But I really love the music. I Believe I Can Fly is amazing, right? And I'm not even a spiritual person, but hell, so if Satan is the angel of music, and you understand how frequency works, how minds work, how subconscious works, that's the reason why this caliber of man, he loves to be an artist. They don't want to be athletes. They don't want to be anywhere where they actually have to be challenged, because then you actually have to address your flaws. You could possibly lose. So he's chosen hip hop so he can easily bully, because he can easily brand and market himself as being a GOAT, as being a champion. He doesn't have to actually go out and win championships.
Of him that sounded more energized and charged up than ever. And in addition to Drake sounding like he actually can stand on his own 2 feet after this beef for the first time, with features from both Young Thug and 21 Savage on this track. Drake was able to boost back up some of the credibility he lost during the beef, as with 2 rappers who Kendrick accused him of biting off from still standing by his side. With both Savage and Young Thug, it was bringing Drake respect that he otherwise simply could not get on his own, and beyond.
Them boys stick together, man. Y'all remember that Ruby Rose interview? Where she said that 21 Savage used to be having sex with her when he was underage. Well, when Ruby Rose was underage. That's the reason why 21 Savage ain't said nothing. Him and Travis Scott on that nasty shit. So them weird niggas always stick together. Like I said, you are the average of the 5 people you hang around the most. 5. Drake, bro, he got Kai Cenat. He got all these dudes hanging around him with accusations, cases, talking to kids. You feel me? And I don't want to put all the blame on Kai. But at the same time, it's like, bro, there's too many weird niggas around you, bro. This is not normal. And a lot of people might say, well, it's not him. But do not understand, this is not a normal occurrence. It's almost like getting angelic numbers. Only a certain particular person gets angelic numbers. If you're consistently attracting angelic numbers, you have to be on the frequency to attract those angelic numbers. The average person isn't doing that. And you look at the Price's Law, the 80-20 rule. When Young Thug was first arrested, Funny Lewis said, I think what's her name, right? The DA. She said that 20% of the population was committing 80% of the crimes. So when we look at crime statistics, when we say that men aren't like that, all men are like that, especially all black men, we genuinely mean that. 20% is doing 80% of the crimes. That goes back to 20% of the population, 20% of the basketball players make 80% of the points. 20% of the men attract 80% of the women. Price's Law, you feel me? I wouldn't say it's directly 20-80, but it's around that, right? A small percentage will attract the mass majority. That's just how it's always been. So when you look at the Drake situation, the Kai situation, the DJ Academic situations, it's like, bro, a small percentage of people are actually attracting these situations. Don't try to pretend like everyone is doing it to make you seem like this is normal. That's what they do. They try to brand and market this shit as being normal to escape accountability. No, you're not being targeted. You're just the mass majority of niggas. Y'all all hang around in flocks. Abuse is about power. Whether it's sexual, verbal, physical, power. So a lot of these niggas never had any actual championships. They've never been any captains of any sports teams. No actual scholars. They are not college educated. They're not actually doing anything. They're not any actual leaders. They've never had any actual genuine responsibility. So now this is their first time getting a position of power that they've desperately strived after their entire lives. If you just look at the stats, the media, communication, those degrees, they have the most amount of sociopaths out of any other medium. These niggas intentionally go to the art realm or the media realm so they can have power. They know exactly what they're doing.
In his verse, 21 Savage alludes to some very recent ideas, such as that the industry has turned on Drake, but that he still has his back, and specifically, he made a series of bars that were subliminally dissing Kendrick Lamar, which, as he said, "Them people be lying, same people be dying, and they never post. No rap cap come out my mouth, made a couple songs think he hot now, hit is up, he think he Pac now." And now with 21 coming out and seemingly calling out Kendrick Lamar, while these disses are not anything ground-shaking, this was a powerful moment for Team Drake because it was showing that despite what Kendrick said on Not Like Us and despite how many people have turned on Drake, rappers as respected as 21 Savage are still standing by him and calling out Kendrick Lamar for doing something that they didn't like. And now as this narrative began to go around the internet and people were talking about these lyrics from...
I gotta understand, I don't give a fuck if a pedophile don't like me, man. I listen to these niggas. That just goes to their art, an abundance mindset versus scarcity mindset. Like I said, these dudes have never actually had any position of power, ever. So they're moving with a scarcity mindset, chasing after something that they never had. So they create music with the frequency of a scarcity mindset that they never had. So they're going online looking for validation. Like I said, they're looking for the narcissistic supply because of their damage and their trauma. They're looking for the acceptance. They're looking for the validation. Someone like Kendrick, an artist, we have a purpose. There's no need for any of that. I don't care. We understand you're supposed to be polarizing. It's not about pleasing. It's about holding up a mirror to society, stimulating the subconscious. Drake, the 21 Savages, the Young Thugs, they don't respect your shadow. Like, they don't respect your mind at all. They don't mind giving you bullshit affirmations, evil, demonic affirmations. And I can't respect that, man.
2021. When DJ Academics went on livestream to talk about these new Drake tracks, he went on to say that he spoke to 21 Savage's manager and he tried to clear the air and say that these lyrics were not about Kendrick Lamar, and while Ack was trying to push people into believing this, when you put everything together, you can see that this is a sheer and utter lie on the end of 21 Savage's team, and it is exposing a larger problem in the rap world currently, which is that everybody is not even just scared but terrified of Kendrick Lamar, and now with the public hyper fixated on this situation and knowing where all of the tension in the rap game is lying, what's happening is that now rappers are sending out their usual sneak disses at other rappers because, as we all know, hip-hop is a competitive space, and with these rappers competing for the same fans, attention, and of course dollars, people are not going to always like each other. But at this moment, where we all know where everyone lies and who is an enemy of who because of a feud involving so much of the genre has boiled up, rappers can no longer get these sneak disses off that cater to their own ego, only target their rivals out, without fans figuring who they are about, and this has caused multiple rappers to spiral out of control, and from Big Sean a few weeks ago, who pretty much ended up getting his album leaked because he tried to dodge taking accountability on his obvious disses about Kendrick Lamar, to 21 now. We are seeing more than ever that Kendrick Lamar really is the boogeyman in hip-hop, because at this moment where most listeners can figure out what is going on, as soon as somebody gets these allegations of dissing Kendrick Lamar, we are seeing rappers fold faster than ever, and just to prove the point that 21...
I'm telling you, this is what happens when you lower the standard so much. You truly believe that everyone else must also abide by your standards. When it comes down to meditation and shadow work, a lot of these people will try to call you crazy or schizophrenic or you're just new age BS because they refuse to do basic shadow. Like, bro, I don't even like saying it because it almost feels like it's a trendy topic. But this is actually how brains work. It doesn't matter if you're a Christian or an atheist. I'm talking about Nikola Tesla. I'm talking about Albert Einstein. Elon Musk. If all of the geniuses that run the planet are saying that we're living in a simulation, why would you not listen? And my thing is always more about separating science and God and all in general. It's like these type of dudes, they completely neglect their subconscious. They don't work out. They don't read books, but they expect you to also suffer to make them comfortable. That's just like the phrase, misery loves company. They see what they lack. That's the reason why they don't like when people do better than them. The envy consumes them. They have not done any shadow work, so that shadow consumes them. They don't understand that you can literally do what I'm doing, and they refuse. It's just like when Alex Pereira was getting accused of witchcraft. Bro, you just got your ass whooped. Dude can't be an extraordinary athlete. It must be TRT. Shawty, she just can't be beautiful and attractive and intelligent. She must have slept her way to the top. They always will come up with something. And that's a chess move and they're playing because they don't actually have to do anything. And they know for a fact the mass majority of people will actually believe in them. And that kills me.
Sneak dissing Kendrick. Let's just look further into this situation to fully grasp everything and see how ridiculous it is to refute these claims. Now, first off, I think we have to note that with this website that Drake has put out, in of itself, we can clearly see that this song was uploaded after the Kendrick Lamar beef went down, so just off this fact, we know that this is being put out on Drake's end to represent his brand and the people around him after everyone has already heard tracks like Family Matters and Not Like Us. And this is abundantly clear from the fact that some of the dates on his website go all the way back to 2018, and this one is very recent. So just from this alone, we know that the song was intended to be a new chapter in Drake's musical story. And now beyond this, when we look at 21's bars, they are clearly defending Drake and calling out Kendrick for supposedly lying about what he said in his diss tracks. And then 21 tries to frame these diss tracks as his first massive songs in years, which is another sentiment that Team Drake has thrown out. And now topping everything off, as 21 literally goes on to compare who he is talking about to thinking they are Tupac. After Kendrick didn't just defend Tupac and use him as motivation to defeat Drake, but then paid homage to him directly through his outfit at the Pop Out concert and has pretty much now been appointed as the king of the West Coast greater than any other rapper since Tupac has. The parallels from what 21 is saying are abundantly obvious, and it is really getting tiring that these rappers and their teams are trying to downplay their lyrics, because by doing this, it is telling us that 21 Savage will just say anything to pad out a runtime of a verse, which then takes away from one of his biggest selling points as an artist, which is his realness, which is ridiculous, and again, goes against everything hip-hop as an art form stands for on a...
Y'all gotta understand, 21 Savage has been a millionaire for how many years? And I gotta say this. Look at my t-shirt. This is my brother. Y'all know my brother. He's been on the channel a few times. My brother is a professional mixed martial artist. I am also a fighter. I know what tough niggas look like. I know warriors, gladiators, men whose bodies are weapons. These men like 21 Savage are damaged and traumatized. They're not dangerous, they're not gangsters. They're suicidal and depressed. They're not dangerous. They're not violent. They're mentally ill. They're victims of their environment. Stop letting these men convince you that they're scary. They're cowards. Especially when you understand that the mass majority of them have been sexually assaulted. Black men have the earliest sexual initiation on this planet. The baby did an entire interview with Angela Yee on the Lip Service podcast where he said at 5 years old he lost his virginity. But I didn't say that he lost his virginity. Or assaulted. In his words, he was R. Kelly'd. These niggas are not tough. They're sad. They're angry. Stop letting these niggas confuse y'all, man. Stop letting these motherfuckers confuse y'all. They're not strong. The only thing a demon can do is deceive you. It's almost like that FDR quote. There's nothing to fear but fear itself. So when you understand that the mind and the subconscious doesn't understand the difference between reality and fantasy, people like 21 Savage have to create this demonic, scary, rah mentality because they're not actually dangerous. Do y'all remember that video that went viral a few years ago of what crazy looks like versus what pretending to be crazy looks like? 21 Savage pretends to be crazy. I'm crazy. Niggas that step in the cage, that volunteer to fight, are crazy. These niggas are pussy. They refuse to do basic shadow work. Stop getting scared of these motherfuckers, man. We as black people have to stop being afraid of these men. See through that shit.
The mental level. And now really the only possibility that 21 did not diss Kendrick is if this song was recorded before the beef. Which, while that would be a coincidence if 21 said this, I doubt this is the case because 21's manager said a few things to DJ Academics about this song, and did not once state that it was recorded before all of this, which would have been the easiest way to avoid any controversy and shut these rumors down. Even regardless of all of this, what's not a coincidence is that Drake released this very song and verse out of all of the unreleased material he has. Because Drake definitely knew that beyond the message it sends from having 21 on the track, especially to other artists that he is still beefing with like Future and Metro Boomin, having him allude so clearly to what sounds like everything that went down with him and Kendrick will make Drake look stronger by having another rapper lie out on the line for him. So either way, when we look at this situation, this was either 20...
Man, Drake, 21 can't give you street cred, man. Kendrick already told you that. And it's like, I just told you, men like Drake attempt to play this character of being dangerous because they don't know what actual danger looks like. So they don't understand. We can see right through that shit. It's like the people that say, hey, I blacked out when I get mad. I see red when I get mad. Someone, like I said, a trained martial artist. You think I'm blacking out? I'm clear and concise. A friend of sinners. Is comfortable in hell and comfortable in heaven. Hell, heaven, yin yang. Y'all need to stop being scared of these people, man. Train to be audacious so you're not affected by the sirens. Please, as black people, we need to start seeing through this shit. I don't want to be on some spiritual shit, but I understand that we're entering to this age of Aquarius. It's almost like the guy that ran the first 4-minute mile, that no one thought we can do it. And then all of a sudden, when someone actually did it, then everyone started being able to say, oh, it's possible. Then it started being broken. It's no different than the Tony Hawk 900. Everyone was like, oh my gosh, Tony Hawk finally did it. A few weeks ago, I saw a 9-year-old do it 3 times back to back to back. We as human beings have no choice but to get better. We got to replace these niggas, man. This world is changing. We went through an entire pandemic, man. We can't go back to what we used to be. We can't make that shit go to waste. We can't make it useless. Especially considering I truly believe in a few years, we'll stop seeing, I think historians will start seeing the world as a pre-pandemic and post-pandemic. Because only 4 years have passed already. It's only been 4 years. It's 2024. And we moving already. We have AI now. Hell, in the last few years, we just got internet a couple years ago. And social media. Man, we got to go crazy, man. We got to get rid of this shit altogether.
Savage straight up dissing Kendrick, or Drake using this as a chess move against Kendrick Lamar and the entire rap world for that matter, and regardless of the actual intention, which we may never know. Either way, we have seen another rapper, whether by accident or intentionally from 21 himself, diss Kendrick Lamar, and as we have already seen these claims pretty much be redacted on 21's end. Most pivotally to everything, this has already backfired on Drake, because where he finally made a decent track that kinda did something, now he just looks even more pathetic, and so does 21 Savage, because if we are in a rap world where rappers say things that clearly make sense about a situation that we can all understand, because as Kendrick says, the audience is not dumb. We can figure out what these lyrics mean most of the time.
Exactly. He thinks that we're dumb. He thinks that we can't read the same 48 Laws of Power they read. The same Bob Proctors, the same Neville Goodars, the same Nikola Tesla, the same angelic numbers, same Think and Grow Rich. They really believe we're stupid. The same outwitting the devil. The same 4 agreements. Bro, they say if you want to hide something, hide it in a book. They truly believe that you are stupid. You would never actually realize what they're doing. Oh, man.
And then the rappers are telling us otherwise in what seems like full-on fear for Kendrick. At this point, Kendrick's victory is only getting stronger because it is showing these other rappers literally folding in on their own words, which, while being pathetic for them, only makes his presence as the boogeyman even more real. So with all that said, let me know. What do you think of this situation?
Yachty lame ass, man. Get him off my screen. Hey, man, shout out Fantastic Hip Hop, man. He been going crazy, dog. Bro, keep doing your thing, man. Keep doing your thing. See you in the next video, man.